It used to be that no one was worth $1 trillion market cap wise. Apple
Really?
broke that barrier probably 3 years ago. Microsoft somehow crept in there. The stock market is so crazy that Nvidia is now worth over $4 trillion. There are only four companies, including Nvidia, that are now worth over $3 trillion. Open the box, surprise us. Lee, tell us who it is.
Well, I don't think you'll be surprised to know that your newest member to the 3 trillion club is Alphabet. And as we have talked about recently, and we should remind it, they just had a huge windfall when they didn't take the Chrome away from them. We thought for sure, you and I both thought it was going to get yanked and spun out, and it's going to be a lot more regulated. They're going to have to share a lot more on it, but they dodged a big bullet, and they still have EU issues with uh, court cases in the European Union that could go on forever, but they're in the club.
Well, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know this, Microsoft is number two in the world.
Right?
Apple, okay, and now we've got Alphabet. I like Alphabet right now for a
I
few
do
reasons.
too.
The first one is that I know everybody says AI search engines are going to make Google disappear. Google is like Apple. Apple will sell iPhones for years, even if it's not the best product because of brand loyalty. The fact that people know the brand. Tesla will be the leader in electric cars, even though Mr. Musk did a few things with the president people weren't happy about.
Right?
It's going to have the lead forever. It's branded. People are familiar with it. Google as a search engine may sink over time, but it's a 90% market share business.
Yeah.
Chrome, their browser, is a 65% global market share
Yeah.
business.
It
Those are not
dominates it.
going away. YouTube is by far and away the largest video sharing site in the world. It's not even close.
Not even close. And that the value there is, I think, and you've mentioned this before in the past, Doug, that you think that some of the value in YouTube is among the biggest that they have.
Well, listen, they've decided to get into the paid TV market. They're now
Right?
competing with Netflix, and
They had
th-
football.
I would not want to be Netflix or Amazon right now because you have a much, much bigger rival that's been mostly free for a long time, moving to paid. So
True.
it's not clear what the formula will be exactly going forward, but that I just so you know, I look at Netflix now differently as a stock than I did when YouTube got into this. So
Right.
it's worth thinking about that.
It is.
Is if you look at Netflix and its valuation, if YouTube is going to start to encroach on that, is it a problem?
Yeah.
But and then they have Android, which is the
Right.
most on. If people think, well, Apple's iOS, that's the biggest operating system. No, right now, Android by far is the largest mobile phone operating system.
Well,
So
they have a huge presence overseas, and that's where they capture the win is there. But yeah, I'll tell you, the people that are Android users, I mean, they will not be persuaded unless forced to go to iOS. They love it. They swear by it, and so that's not going to change. So I mean, look at all the components under one corporation, and I think you're right. I think of all the tech names now, it's still I think among the best buys right now.
it also has something that you really can't put a finger on in terms of valuation, and that is what I call stickiness in big businesses. Gmail,
Yeah.
Google Maps. And if you look at people's day to day lives, a lot of what they do is powered by things that are owned by Alphabet. And the
Yep.
fact that you've got all that stickiness knits together sort of the day of people's tech usage is dominated right now by Alphabet. And of course, listen, it's I would call it top five, top six in terms of being an AI play.
Absolutely.
So
But
if
I
you
mean,
if
I think for your long-term investor, especially if you're, 35 or 40 and can really be in for 20 years on a stock, because you had to be into Nvidia for 20 years for it to go from 77 cents to 10 zillion. But if you have that kind of time frame, and these are the kind of names that you can buy and hold. Don't try to trade through it all the time. Just hold it, because it will split again. And you and I are around for this. You got to remember when Facebook went public, when Meta went public, it was 2011, I think. So it's been almost 15 years. So the stock was priced like in the 40s. It immediately went to 17. Within like 6 months or 5 months. And then, of course, took off. They've never split it. So if you held on or bought more when it dropped, you'd be rolling in the dough. So yeah, I think you're right. It could be the best long-term tech holding of all of them.
Yeah.